There's so much that we can do to help children who come into our home heal from the trauma they have experienced. There's a wealth of tools that we have at our disposal, but one of the first things that we think about, one of the first things that we do is make sure that kids know that we're safe adults and feel really safe in our presence. The term that we use for this is felt safety. Felt safety is the most foundational, fundamental piece of healing work that we do with children who've experienced relational trauma. Felt safety recognizes there's a big difference between being safe and feeling safe. And this term, this idea of felt safety comes from the work of Howard Bath. And he has a phenomenal article. It's called The 3 Pillars of Trauma-Informed Care. And in that article, he talks about 3 crucial elements of creating a trauma-informed environment where your child can heal and grow. The first element is this idea of felt safety, followed by connection and self-regulation. And I like to think about these as an order of operations. So we're going to start with felt safety because we know that a kid has to feel and just know that they're safe before we can even start working on building that connection with them. The ability for a child to thrive in your care depends on a feeling, a belief that they are safe. Their ability to explore the physical world, explore the social world, develop friendships is also related to this idea of felt safety, that they can venture out, they can explore the world, but they know that when they feel overwhelmed, when they feel afraid, they have a safe, secure base to come back to. That's felt safety. So what would fear look like in kids who've experienced trauma? You could see just some classic signs of fear. A child who's not making eye contact, a child who shies away from your touch, or just you get this sense that they're nervous all the time. That we know and can recognize as fear. But there's other behaviors that you might see in your child that also indicate fear, but that it's harder for us to make that connection. And those could be behaviors like hoarding food, a child who's wetting the bed in the middle of the night, or even a child who's aggressive a lot of the time. Fear can underlie all of these different behaviors. And so it's something that we as parents, we're always thinking about, does my child feel safe? We know that behavior in kids is the language of unmet needs. And so when we're getting big behaviors from our kids, we can guess and be pretty sure that they're not sure they're safe with us. When a child comes into your home, they often know, I've now reached a place where I'm physically safe. I've reached a place where I have my own bed, where I'm going to get regular food. These people seem nice, but these kids are wondering, based on their history, are you a safe person for all of me? Can I bring my unvarnished self to you? I know that you'll accept me when things are going well and I'm behaving well, but when I'm afraid, when I'm angry, when I'm frustrated, can I bring those emotions to you too? So this idea of felt safety is we want to show kids in our care, yes, you are physically safe, but you're also emotionally safe with me. It's the first place that we start on the healing journey. The term felt safety might be a new term to you, but this idea is something that you already inherently, intrinsically know. Let me give you 2 examples, one where I have felt safety and one where I don't. I have a cousin. Whenever I see her, she gets a blanket out. She gets a hot cup of coffee out. We go sit on her back deck. She is really great at listening to me without judgment. She encourages, she asks really thoughtful questions, she's with me, but she only gives advice when I ask for it. Every time I spend a day with her, I come away feeling refreshed and filled up. And the way that she is with me communicates to me, you are seen, valued, and known in my presence. Come as you are. And when she does that for me, I let my guard down. I feel safe. That is the feeling of felt safety. We're going to contrast that with another group of people that I see occasionally. They live in a distant place, but we do get together. But when I'm with these people, there are some mood swings that go up and down. Sometimes it's just fine, and sometimes there's a big outburst. And that leaves me feeling hypervigilant. In this group, gossip is just kind of a part of who they are and what they do. But I've learned that what I see isn't necessarily how they think of a person. And the messages that these things communicate to me is, I don't know about my standing with this group. You seem to like me, but I don't know if that's how you really feel. And so when I'm with this group, I'm pretty guarded. I walk on eggshells. I give the bare minimum because I'm not sure that these people are trustworthy. In that scenario, I don't have felt safety. And we know that I then don't have connection with those people because felt safety is the building block for connection to happen. How do we help kids feel safe? Here are 3 strategies. Number 1, we're going to see a need and we're going to meet a need. Our ability to meet our child's needs in a consistent and emotionally warm way lays the groundwork for our children to trust us and to begin to trust the world. So we ask ourselves, am I just physically meeting my child's needs, or am I tuned in to what they need emotionally from me as well? And here's how this example might show up. Imagine you have a child who's come to you, has the chronological age of 10, but because of the trauma they've experienced, developmentally, emotionally, this child is more like a 5-year-old. And it's a busy morning in your house, you're getting people ready for school and work, and this child says to you, will you help me get dressed? Will you pour my smoothie? And you're thinking, I know this kid knows how to do this, but we have to be able to slow down and see that my child is asking for care in this situation. They're asking me for the care that they didn't receive from the hands of a loving caregiver when they were younger. And I need to be able to slow down, slow my morning, and say yes to that need. When I meet the physical needs and I'm tuned in to what my child needs from me emotionally, my child feels seen, valued, and loved in my presence. The second strategy for developing felt safety with your children is we are going to give yeses. We are going to find and even create opportunities where we can say yes to our kids. And I want you to understand the power that a yes holds. And we're going to do that with a really simple exercise. So if you're comfortable, please close your eyes, listen to my words, and just ponder, how does this feel for me? Yes. You bet. Okay. Happy to. Yes. Yes. That sounds great. Yes. No. Nope. Not today. I don't think so. No. I said no. No. Now take a moment, open your eyes, and how did that feel for you? For many people, the power of a yes felt light and joyous and beautiful, and a no felt pretty heavy. When children receive optimal development, what happens is they get thousands of yeses in their first year of life. Every time they cry, we come and we pick them up and we say, yes, what do you need? Do you need to be fed? Do you need a fresh diaper? Are you just lonely? Do you need me to rock you? And every time a baby cries and we come, we are saying yes. And through this pattern of us responding hundreds of thousands of times when our children are small, our child develops voice. They develop self-efficacy. This idea of self-worth all comes out of a caregiver responding when a baby cries and saying yes. In contrast, the children that we love, that we serve, they didn't get a lot of yeses before they got some really big no's. They got a no. You don't get to live with people that you share biology with, that you share genetics with. No, you don't get to stay living in somewhere that might be your favorite place. No, you don't get to keep that pet. No, you don't get to travel and move along with that brother or sister. So every time I give a yes to a child, I am communicating, I'm listening. Your words matter to me. Your voice matters. Every time I say yes and I listen, I'm saying your words are powerful. You don't need to use behavior to get my attention. And that develops this idea of self-efficacy. Your words matter. When I say yes, I'm conveying your thoughts, your ideas matter to me. I want to understand who you are. I want to understand how you think. That develops self-worth in our children. So remember how you felt when I gave you a yes, and I want you to give that to your children. And that might come up like a child saying, hey mom, I want to wear my ballet shoes to the grocery store. And that's not a practical choice for the grocery store, but when we can in that moment say, yes, you're going to be safe. You'll be okay in your ballet shoes. We are telling our child your thoughts, your ideas, your voice, they matter. The third strategy for creating felt safety with your child is that we remain as parents cool, calm captains. In the good times, when our kids are behaving well, and in the more challenging times when our children are dysregulated. Dysregulated is a word, it just means our kids are overwhelmed with their emotions. It might be big, red hot anger. It might be something that is more like sadness. But in those moments when our children are dysregulated, they need our help to get back to a place of calm. We can help them by staying regulated, staying calm ourselves, and not joining them in their temper tantrum. Being emotionally present with a child who is upset, who is angry, who is sad, and helping that child experience and process these feelings develops felt safety. When I stay calm, I am speaking non-verbally to my child, I am not a threat. It is you and me against this challenge. Staying calm is the hardest work you will do as a parent. It is the hardest work that I have done as a parent. But I have learned that when my child misbehaves, it does not give me permission to lose my cool and have my own temper tantrum. The other part of remaining a cool, calm captain is remaining physically present and asking ourselves, do I check out? Do I say things like, well, I'm out of here, or go to timeout? When we do those things, we leave our children on their own to manage their fear state, and that goes against everything that we are trying to do with felt safety. It's beyond the scope of this video, but TBRI has some really great tools for learning how to respond in this connected way when our kids are emotionally dysregulated. The ideal response and the levels of response are two of my favorite tools and things that have really helped me stay calm in tense situations. Loving a child who is following all the rules, who's behaving well, that's low-hanging fruit. But we can develop felt safety for our kids when we remain emotionally warm, stable, and have a really consistent response when our kid becomes dysregulated. We need to prove ourselves safe and trustworthy to the children in our care. And we do that by creating felt safety. Felt safety allows our kids to let go of the fear-based survival strategies that they have needed before they were in the home of a loving caregiver. We talked about 3 concrete strategies to help build felt safety. Number 1, we're going to see a need and we're going to meet a need. Number 2, we're going to give yeses. We're going to recognize the power of a yes. And number 3, we are going to remain a cool, calm captain. Your challenge is to pick one of these to start with. Pick one and commit to doing whatever it takes to gain the trust of a child in your care.